Warning. Some topics or situations in this program may not be suitable for some audience. Everything you see and hear is done on the safety of our own disclosed set under legal circumstance. Also, Speedpigeon does not support the use of drugs, alcohol, or violence, especially for our underage audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
That was a really shitty idea.
Hello there, little ghosts and ghouls. We are here for the tricks and the treats. And you are all in for treats, yes.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Speedcast. I'm your host, Charlie, and I'm joined with the majestic Kevin Wankmueller.
Oh, my bullshit.
Today is a special episode because it's Halloween. We thought we would bring your spooks up with the Halloweeny vibes of the fall.
I love Halloween. It is probably my favorite time of year.
Yeah, I didn't love that, though. I'm thirsty. Where's my drink?
Got some in my eyeball.
So, I figured we'd start off with a blunt.
It's always a good
That's
way to
not what
start
I was
off.
originally going to say, but I seen two nice fat blunts staring at me in the face, so I figured we should start that.
Left to right.
That one's already in your mouth.
Heard.
So, I figured we can talk about some, what's your favorite holiday experience around this time?
Around this time, holiday experience that has happened thus far.
I mean, yeah, it has to have happened.
Yeah, right?
You know?
It couldn't be an experience if it didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
Heard.
So, just follow the definition of that word, and we'll get to our destination.
I would... honestly, I'd have to say my favorite experience of this time of year, not specifically this holiday, but is the freedom of everybody, really. You get to be just about anything you usually aren't.
Except for Jeffrey Dahmer. You know.
Besides the heavily
That's a touchy point
opinionated
for
base
somebody.
side, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody can sit there. Well, I'm sure people will sit there and judge regardless, but the point is that you can walk out of your house dressed as a dog if you feel like being a dog. Or, I don't know, your favorite scary movie. And nobody's there to be like, no, you know, that's not a good idea. No. You could be whatever you want to be. And I like that. Because not a lot of people, I feel like, openly do that. And that's like the one time of year that it's quote-unquote acceptable.
Yeah, and I feel like Halloween decorations are like way cooler than like any other decorations.
They're the coolest decorations.
They're really cool.
ever.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love how like some people deck their house out during Christmas. Like,
Right.
that's really awesome. Just making sure that's on. We've had too many fuck ups on this show.
Yeah, right.
But you know, I think like, you know, those lights are really cool, but like the way people mix like their decorations with like the lights. Some people have fucking smoke machines
How
that have like
creative people
strobe
get,
lights.
yes.
Yeah, people get really creative with that shit.
There's a lot of talent that comes to play with Halloween.
Just decorating your house.
Just
in
decorating,
general.
period. Yeah.
But like, yeah, absolutely. Halloween, I feel like it's just, and you know, I feel like the fall weather mixed with like the cozy clothes
Yes.
and like, you know, your
Yes.
coffee and all of that, everything we just explained, I feel like that also ties it in together as
Right.
well. You know what I mean?
Right.
That with the decorations, seeing everything so festive, it's just like, it's a different feel. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
Not so much this town, because this town doesn't really like to. Once Trunk or Treat came through this town,
Yeah.
it fucked
It's
everything.
all
up.
because of Hurricane Sandy.
Trunk or Treat, fuck, and I can't believe it's like still a thing. People are still doing Trunk or Treat.
Yeah, for real. Because people realize it's a little bit easier. I
Yeah,
guess.
but that's the thing. It doesn't matter about it being easier.
being
You
easy,
know what I
right.
mean? That's never been a problem for us before. Like, why is it all of a sudden a problem? Like, why are you
Right.
taking away the aspects that made this holiday great to fucking give candy out from your trunk?
Yeah, I feel like it used to be a lot better. If you guys have anything in mind that you know of when you were out like trick-or-treating when you were a kid versus now, how different it is, how it changed, let us know below.
It's so different now, man.
It's very different.
I feel bad for kids now because I feel like it's not going to be the same experience that any of us had.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like any of our parents had.
I don't know, man. We had it good.
I feel like our generation was the last one to fully experience what Halloween was.
Yeah.
In like its fullest effect before it got fucking
it's just
modernized,
too limited
like
now.
Everything
modernized.
else, like
you can't be out too late. And then even if, depending on what section of the country you live on, you don't want to be out too late because it gets freezing cold anymore.
Yeah.
I remember you used to wear, like, whatever. Like, if you had a costume that was just, like, t-shirt, shorts, you were comfy the whole entire night. And now it's like, you have to, okay, well, here's my costume, but I'm going to wear my jacket and everything over
it. But you know what I
also
think it is? I also think it's like, when you're a kid, the cold doesn't bother you.
You don't give a shit. Yeah, right.
Because again, we used to smoke outside
You're
in
out for
all
candy.
types of weather and shit. Yeah, we're outside for candy right now. We don't give a fuck.
Right.
We're hopped up on fucking like
Speaking of candy,
sugar and shit. Hell yeah, man. We're hopped up on like all the sugar and stuff. Like we don't care about that. We're living in the moment.
For real.
You know what I mean?
It was very different.
Very different. Very different. But yeah, I wish this town did more. You know what I mean? Ever since the whole trunk or treat thing, I feel like it's just downhill. That's a bone I'd like to pick with whoever made that.
I feel that.
I feel like that was a fucking stupid idea. It was a great idea for the time when Sandy happened and a lot of people's houses were messed up and like you couldn't really do that. Because it was literally, like, right after Sandy.
Yeah, dude, people were down bad.
It was a couple days after Sandy, so it's like, yeah, just drive your fucking car into this parking lot, let your kids still have Halloween. Like, yeah, that was cool. But, like, once we recovered, there was no reason to keep that around. And it's been 10 years. And it's been the exact same.
It doesn't just take away from the whole experience, like, of going house to house and stuff like that. It now is taking away the experience of like the decorations and blah blah blah. Which
that's what I'm saying.
There's people that decorate their trunk and stuff, but it's not the same.
Yeah, you don't walk around town and you don't feel that same.
You know what I do appreciate though?
Magic anymore.
Being a young kid, right? Trick or treating, and either knowing the houses that are going to be coolly decorated, or like walking around a neighborhood you don't know and just seeing the different decorations. Those really, really cool decorations, you really, like, end up appreciating that house, right? As opposed to the one next to it just has a couple lights, maybe something stuck in the lawn. I think it's cool now that we get to do that for kids. You know, like, we might not be able to have that whole Halloween experience, but now we get to decorate our house or something
it's just
for kids to be able to experience.
Out the candy and, like...
Right?
Like, fuck that. You don't need to go door to door for candy anymore. You can just go and buy that big-ass bag yourself of variety candy.
Any day.
You know?
It doesn't even have to be for Halloween. You could do that any day. Monday suck, go buy a pound bag of candy.
It's crazy how the roles have just like completely reversed and switched up on like
it's like
everything.
That's why I like it, because like holidays period, not just Halloween, but because the I guess responsibilities per se switch. They fall onto us for the younger kids to be able to appreciate. Because no matter what age I am, still to this day, I love a good decoration. You know, regardless of what holiday it is or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate a nicely decorated house.
It is fun to decorate. That's like I hate how like little there is in my room right now because I like just moved over here, but I want to get stuff.
We'll
back
get there.
On the walls
Yeah, dude,
stuff.
definitely.
Especially for this wall, I feel like I just threw shit up so we have something.
So we had something right
for the wall. Like this is a lot better than a fucking blank background.
Yeah, we'll
you
switch
know
it
what
up.
I
We'll
mean?
get different shit.
It'll
whatever.
definitely switch over time, but you know.
No, but I like that. I like how the roles reverse, and we're the ones to, you know, make people appreciative of little decorations and such.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So, I think since we're already at the 10-minute mark, basically. Story time?
Story time.
Story time.
Yeah. Being that it's spooky time. Boom.
Spooky stories.
You want to go first?
Do I want to go first?
Yeah. 'Cause I'm pretty sure the only people in this room that don't know each other's stories by now are the people listening and
These
watching.
guys, actually. Yeah, there was actually a time down. I have a few stories, actually, but this one, we were at Roswell Market, right down here, and I swear this place is fucking completely haunted. because like we used to hear like little girls and stuff like crying in like the basement and shit, and there was like nobody down there because you know how it was like the bars and you can just peek in and see like the whole basement.
Right.
There's nobody down there and shit, and we heard like a little girl down there all the fucking time, and somebody claimed they seen a dude in a lab coat, but I don't know about that. But Chris like just like got aired out when he went inside, and like he said it felt like somebody like punched him in the stomach, and I had a scratch on my arm from like I don't know what the fuck.
You had a scratch?
Yeah.
That's so crazy, dude. I want to know people who had physical. If you ever had anything paranormal physical happen to you, let us know.
Yeah,
I've never had anything
Dean
physical.
Dean had 3 scratches when we went to the graveyard, and then when I fucking like provoked whatever it was, I got scratched as well at the graveyard, and I almost like passed out.
That's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
It was crazy, but the Roswell Market is fucking insane. That place like creeps me out all the time. I hate walking past that place at night.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. That's different.
Now that it's boarded up, it's fine, but like when it wasn't boarded up, and like the
You
fucking front door
like
was
wherever.
open and you can literally just walk into it, like it was fucking freaky. But I'm good on that one.
I have a couple different ones, but the one that probably takes the cake for me indefinite was
Save the really good one for last, because if I know which one you're gonna say.
A really good one for last?
Yeah.
Okay, so then anytime that, like, I guess any of them that were, like, the scariest was when I would see, like, any actual figures. Like, nothing that was just, like, a sound here or whatever. But the thing to me is, like, the speed of whatever it is that I'm looking at. And I never see it. I hardly ever see it directly. It's always, like, peripheral, right? The most recent one was probably in my mom's house. Nobody was home. I was the only one there.
Like
and I was doing
the one
dishes.
you're at now?
Yeah, the one that my mom's at now.
Shit's just following y'all.
Dude,
Like
that's what it comes down to for me, at least. I'll get to that. But I was in the kitchen, home alone, and I was doing the dishes. And I don't know what it is with me, but anytime water's running, so like if I'm doing the dishes, if I'm in the shower especially, anytime water's running, I feel like I hear like voices or people or walking around or something.
I feel
always, right? So I kept hearing like as if something was walking behind me or talking in the other rooms or whatever, right? But it's never just one, it's always like numerous people. Like it would be a group of people, right? If I hear them talking. If it's just walking, it's just that. It's just like one person, a couple steps, whatever, walking in, entering, exiting a room, whatever. But I kept hearing something from right behind me. So I knew that I was home alone, but my mom has cats. So I was wondering, like, maybe they're, like, hopping on shit, whatever. I was looking all around. I don't see no cats, nothing like that. I go to turn to look behind me. And in her kitchen, if you're facing the sink, to the right of you is, like, where the front door is, like the living room, the office area, whatever, and then the upstairs. And then behind that is the bathroom. To the left of you is the kitchen, and then my mom's room. So I go to turn to the right to look behind me from over my right shoulder, and it looked like really, 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 really fast, like inhumanely fast. Something was walking from like the dining room out into like the living room area, but I just caught the very back of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but it was clearly the back of like someone's head, neck, shoulder, back, leg, like you've seen, right? But dude, it was like literally faster than we blink type of speed. Like I can't even explain. As if you look over, right, as if your grandma's coming out the kitchen into the living room. If you had your door open and you saw her like just very, very last second going into the living room, that's what it was like, but like fucking really, really, really fast. So that's the most recent.
Yeah.
But that's the scariest
insane.
it gets for me is like seeing actual like
I'm telling
figures
you,
or
something's
something.
following you because you always have like crazy stories.
I
Like,
swear.
mine are always when I'm somewhere else. It's never when I'm at home, thankfully. But, I don't know, man. Yours always top the cake. Like, there was this one where I was playing Manhunt, and this was like, 8 years ago. But it was behind Wells Fargo, like I told you, where
Right.
we found the $120.
Yeah. This, like, right over here?
Yeah, like right behind this Wells Fargo. And we were playing Manhunt over there, and everybody was afraid of that abandoned house, that white one that was on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking, I was the only one who wasn't a bitch and went in there to hide. So I went all the way up to the attic, fucking, and hid all the way in the back corner. And I was there for like 20 minutes, and then I got a call from my friend who was on like my team, and he was like, dude, get the fuck away from the window. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you're gonna get caught, just back away from the window. And I was like, I'm not near any window, like I'm all the way in the back. And he was like, oh, well, who's up there with you? I was like, nobody. And I'm like looking at the windows right now, and there's like nobody there. And yeah, so I was just like, all right, whatever, we've settled that I was in the back, so I hung up and I just chilled there for a little longer, waited for them to say like the game was over. So I heard footsteps coming up the stairs, and I was like, fuck, man. I was like, all right, there's no like escaping them, like I'm gonna lose anyway, you know what I mean? So instead of running and getting hurt in the dark, I just went up to the staircase and I put my hand out so they can tag me.
Ugh.
Nobody was there. And then I went all the way back down, the whole entire house. Nobody was in the house at all. And I went outside, and the game was over.
Ugh.
That shit was fucking crazy.
That's freaky shit. That was like, was I with you? Do you remember that old abandoned like house thing on the end of Elm Street?
Mm-hmm.
Before they knocked down. Was I with you and a couple other people when we were like trying to get into it?
I think so.
I think that was you, and I forget
Was it
who
with
else
Mike?
it was. Yeah, I think Mike was
We were
there.
coming from Redbridge, right?
That was you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was also different. Cause I always seen that house. Cause like Mike lived the 2 houses down. I always seen that house growing up, and I knew there was something wrong with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the day that we did that, I got the door open. When it swung open, that hallway, the dark ass hallway, and the dark ass stairs right there, something happened there, dude. Cause it was like, the second I got the door open, it was like things were trapped there and fucking bursted out in that split second, and I was right there. It was just such a weird feeling. Like, I went from like excited, oh my god, the whole group of us wants to get into this place I've never seen the inside of. Oh, this is so cool. Da 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 da. The second that door swung open, it went, oh my god. Like, it was just literally just a flush of like nothing. Like, everything got pulled from me, bro.
That's insane.
That was different.
Wow.
That was different. That place was scary. I'm actually glad they got rid of that place.
Yeah, I can't believe they knocked that place down.
Yeah, right? Took a while.
I
But they
still
did.
wish I did go in it, though. That would have been really fucking cool.
That's another reason why, like, I always want to, like, go into, like, abandoned buildings and stuff. Whenever it's brought up, like, whenever you guys bring it up or whatever, I just get nervous when I'm outside of it because of all, like, the shit that I've either seen or, like, heard or whatever. I don't like it, dude. I don't like it.
See, I'm the opposite. When that shit happens, like, it's fucking scary.
Right.
But, like, I want to keep, like, figuring out what the fuck that is, you know what I mean?
Because my main thing is,
If it's
like,
in my
I've
own
seen
home,
enough
yeah,
of
fuck
it
that,
and
you
heard
know?
enough of it unwanted. I don't want to go looking for it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I could only imagine.
But, like, if it's in my own home, that's a different story. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to fuck with that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was, yeah. Freaky. Like the time the old garage door that I had it was solid wood, and you had to like lift it up yourself. It was on a track, but it was very, very, very heavy door. It used to go up by itself, like it was one of those type of things, like wooden one, but the thing for it broke or something, so you had to lift it. It was easy once you got it up, but that fucker was like, I want to say a good 80 pounds,
Mhm.
right? You had to like put into opening it, and then same thing pulling it back down. So the one night me, my dad, and my mom were in the living room watching TV, and we all heard the door just picking up and slamming over and over and over again. With ease, though. Like, with ease. But going all the way up and all the way back down, but very fast. So I remember we all looked at each other, muted the TV, and we heard it. So my dad went to go look. He was gone for a good handful of minutes. The noise was still happening, and then eventually it just stopped. And he came back inside, pale as a ghost. And he was just completely straight-faced. And just sat back on the couch and just started watching TV. And me and my mom just looked at him. Like, he didn't look over at us at all. Like, we were obviously waiting for, like, what was going on outside, you know? He just straight-faced, pale as shit, sat down and just started staring at the TV.
That's insane.
And my mom was like, what happened? And he looked over at her, looked back at the TV and goes, the garage door was just lifting and slamming itself shut. And that was it. That's all he said. It was just lifting and slamming by itself. Just he said he stood out there and was just watching it because he didn't know what to do, because there was no wiring issue. There was no wiring hooked up anymore. Like, whatever it was busted a long time ago. So my dad said it too. It was just on the metal rack on the wheels, so it was easier to get up. But he put a handle on it, and just imagine like solid. I don't want to say it was oak, but just imagine solid oak. There's like 6 panels.
Was it the one in the house that
Ward Ave,
where we used party?
Yeah,
at?
before we took the garage door off completely, because one day I think it just fell.
That's a big door too.
Dude, that thing was
a huge
heavy.
Doorway.
Solid wood.
That's crazy.
But yeah, just all
wow.
the way. Boom.
No
boom,
wind is doing
boom,
that. Yeah,
boom.
no fucking wind is doing that shit.
You remember that door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man.
Insane.
I didn't see it. My mom didn't see it, but my dad said
like,
we heard it. We heard it.
That's like when we were all in your house that one day, and you fucking.
Dude, I honestly, real quick on that, am so thankful that day happened. Seriously, because all I ever had was stories. You know, people didn't see it or hear it for themselves.
No,
really.
like I experienced
until that night. I was like,
fucking house like multiple times, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit's. But that was crazy because like what do we hear? It was the fucking. You thought your dad was home at first, right?
When we went upstairs, that room that I used to stay in,
there was like 13.
There was a futon chilling on the wall without the cushion. I didn't see it didn't have the cushion, so I went to go pull it so some of us could sit on it in the other room. But that sound of like a metal futon dragging on the wood floor, I realized it didn't have a cushion and it was heavy, so I was like, oh, fuck that. Back to the wall. So we all go in the room down the hallway. We're all standing in a circle. And, you know, we were passing it around. I'm against the wall. Dan was against the wall.
I was leaning up against the door.
His girl was up against the wall, too. And somebody else was next to me. And us 4 were the ones that heard it, like, directly through the wall.
I heard that right away, dude.
Really?
I was right against the door.
So maybe you were I think you were the other one. Cause that's right, because you were next to me.
No, you looked at I'm pretty sure
no,
you were across.
Yeah, that's right, because I looked. Yeah.
I was leaning against the door.
That's right. Holy shit. No, that's right. That's right. So we heard it through the wall go, the exact same sound that I just made. So I remember that's when I looked.
Because I went out in the hallway with you.
Because Dan went, what the fuck? Because he was literally right next to me against the wall, and he was same reaction with me. And I was like, okay, they just heard that too. I'm not tweaking. And then right after that, like right after it started to be like, all right, fuck it. That's it. Whatever. We'll just keep doing. Right after that, I swear to God, I heard the front door open and 2 sets of footsteps and my dad talking to Donna in the way that he usually does.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, guys, hold on. Because I don't know why I was like that, because usually I only have a couple people. Oh, because we were in the house that night. That was the last time. That was like usually we would go to the garage. That's why I was like, oh shit, hold on. And I cracked the door, and there was nothing at all. And that's when I think I told everybody, all right, yo, we got to get the fuck out of here. But at first I was like, shh, everybody, shut up. And nobody was stopping. So I was like, guys, shut the fuck up for a second.
Yeah,
because I was getting scared, dude.
Oh,
I was like, I swear to God, if I crack this door and I don't hear voices, in this empty ass house that you could hear a whisper from like practically the basement from upstairs. We're leaving. Dude, and then I don't know if I told you, but the last time I was ever in there, I was just grabbing a couple things. This was daytime. I was just grabbing a couple things left over that I had, taking them to my mom's, and I was with Bree, and I think my dad was in the house, but he was downstairs. Where I was staying was that room upstairs where we actually went to go pull the futon. I had grabbed a couple things, went into, what was it? My parents' old bedroom, which was right across the hallway from mine, and that was where I felt like the main eerie, that and the basement all growing up, because in that room the attic was there in the closet. So it was always just like those two were the eeriest. Heavily felt like I was being watched that time, right? I always felt like that, like something was either right over my shoulder or just watching every step that I took.
Yeah.
That time was just extra heavy, and when I got everything and we left back out the house, we were walking to the left down to go on Bordentown. It was just like intense as shit, the feeling of eyes on the back of my head. So I just decided to turn and look right where I was feeling it from, and no shit, in my parents' bedroom to the left window, I saw a torso from like the arms, shoulders, head, but it was all white, no face, nothing, but it was pure white, and it was like leaning on the windowsill watching me go down the street. And then the second I made, like, I guess eye contact, like if it had eyes, right, it just went like, it let go of the windowsill and just, and I've been back since then and I've never felt anything heavy again after that. So that to me was like, it like staring at me leave to that house, not to live or anything, but like after that day, like my dad and Donna still lived there and the kids still went there from time to time. So like I visited the house before, like after that.
Yeah.
But that, like, thinking back on that, it was like whatever was in the house was watching me officially leave it, like knowing that I wasn't coming back to live, and it let go and just goodbye.
That's crazy.
Type of thing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That's like a fucking horror movie in itself.
Dude. Because my thing is like how you said, you think it, you think it probably follows me, whatever it is, because I see it. I think that's true. Like, I think how houses could be haunted and stuff. I think I'm haunted.
This house is your sequel.
Yeah, dude. I swear. Because everywhere I go. And then the group of people that I used to hang out with, it was Corinne, Sabrina, and somebody else, all said in their houses that they experienced, it was like a little Chinese boy. And now, not to be random, but like in that bedroom, the one where we went to pull the futon from, that used to be my bedroom at one point, and I was asleep, facing the wall, and you know how like sometimes in the middle of the night you like roll over and you're not even a quarter awake for like 2 seconds while you're like flipping over and stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing that, and as I was flipping over, it was the best way I could explain it is like the little boy from The Grudge. Honestly, but like it was like a dark blue, just dark blue essence, right? And he was looking at me from the foot of my bed, but like a little boy, just with so much hate and like anger in his face, just watching me sleep. And I just, from like just flipping over.
Yeah, dude, I fucking freaked out.
And it was gone. I was just like, what the fuck? After that, those couple of people said ever since they hung out with me, they've had that. They've seen exactly how I've described it.
Wow. Watch, now that's gonna happen to me now. I'm fucking...
Bro, I'm telling you.
Dick.
If it makes you feel better, we've been together for 6 years, it's never happened to me.
Cool. Maybe you're kind of close.
It does make me feel better, because I used to be a lot more sensitive, so to speak, or at least I think so. Because anymore, it's not like, I can't just walk into a room per se and like just get that, oh yeah, nah. Like I used to be able to do that. And I don't really anymore, which I'm kind of thankful for, because that would make me like,
I get that a lot, especially like that. There's this one place in Perth Amboy. I think we had to like cash a check one day and we parked outside of it.
I know
that
exactly what
feeling
you're talking about.
outside
I get that.
building.
I get that from that building too.
It'll
be like
it white?
strong things.
Yeah.
Is
it a white building?
I
No,
think
it's like a brick building, isn't it?
It used to be like
Brick with like the metal fence outside of it.
Yeah, it used to be like a group home or something.
But it's not
like
white?
that. No, I think
Okay.
it's
Something
like
I was
a
going to
building.
say, 'cause
Isn't
the
that
proprietary
abandoned?
house.
Yeah, it's abandoned
Yeah,
now.
The
I think
no,
that's
no,
what-
no. The proprietary house is white. It's in fucking Perth Amboy. But we were trying to do an investigation there. I think it's white. Hold on. Let me
Yeah, no,
check.
you could some of the windows weren't fully boarded, and like you could feel it like coming from the house. Like it's not like I wanted to cry. Like it was not good vibes, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, place is not okay.
I don't know. It's not loading, but the proprietary house is in Perth Amboy. I think it was.
So I've been
white.
talking for a minute. Do you have any more?
No, I was fucking saying, what was the story I told you to save? Unless you
Okay.
said it already.
So, my all-time scariest.
Is it the stair one?
Same house. Yeah, it's the stair one.
Okay, nice.
Now, just a quick backstory to this. When I was really young, my haunted house experience, I guess, started with anytime I would close my eyes or blink or whatever, I saw this girl, well, I guess, looked like a girl with really long black hair, all in her face, and it was literally parted just to see her eyeball and part of her mouth. And she had insanely sharp teeth. And a lot of them. And her eye was like, it wasn't like an eye. Like, it wasn't like a regular eyeball. I can't really explain it because it wasn't like how you see in the movies, like all blacked out type of thing. It was just like empty. Right? I constantly saw her every time I closed my eyes to the point where I was afraid to take a shower. So I would like stick my head under the water with like my eyes wide open. Type of shit. Like, it was literally like, if I blinked, I would see it. And I was really, really young, so it just scared me because I didn't know what was happening. So, I would tell, like, people in my house, whatever, and it was just like, oh, whatever, watching scary movies, this, that, and the third, whatever they said about it. But they didn't realize, like, what was going on. So one day I remember drawing it, like, just what I saw. And I showed, I think, my mom, and her jaw basically hit the floor. And I guess that's when she realized, like, okay, he's, like, seeing shit, like, whatever is happening.
It's like some horror movie
Dude,
shit, dude.
Seriously,
Holy
bro.
Fuck.
So, it was
you
like...
lived an actual horror movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, one night, I'm up watching TV, and it was always at, like, 3 in the morning on. Like, in the hour of 3, right? Whatever time it was. Watching TV. And this is when Bear was still alive. My very first dog. He would also... Like, he was also sensitive, I want to say. Because when I would hear something and look, he would look in the same exact spot at the same exact second as me. So I think he knew what was up, too. So this specific night, I heard the top of my steps creak. And he looked up. He had his collar on. And we just had wooden floors. So, like, the tag lifting up from the floor actually got my attention because I realized he lifted his head to look. So I looked at him, seen he was looking at the top of the staircase. And I looked at the top of the staircase. And I was the only one awake. Yeah, this was Ward Ave, again. That's where basically everything took place. And I basically saw that girl. First, it was big, long, dark fingers coming through the staircase with like really sharp claws, right? And once it gripped, that's when I saw the face appear. And it was like her face for the first time with her hair fully to the side, and you were able to see her whole face. And it was just like the scariest, like, I don't even know what stare.
How old were you?
Maybe maybe 12, 13, because that's when I really couldn't sleep late.
So you were at least like still like you weren't like a child where you were
Yeah, I was like,
imagining
I
this shit,
still like at this point in time, I knew that my house was haunted, but I never witnessed or experienced anything like that yet. So that was like, it was also 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't know if my brain was tweaked or what. So I just look away and I'm just watching the TV. You know, I pull the blanket up and I'm just not looking at the stairs because I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to see that again at all. So I'm just watching TV.
You were alone?
Yeah, it's I was the only one awake. Everybody else was upstairs.
Oh, they were in the house.
And then I heard the bottom of the stairs creak, and we had the like at the end of the stairs that banister came up right,
Yeah.
from the staircase. I seen a all black figure like grab that, like as if they were running down the stairs, grab it to like turn themselves, grab that and like just go like that, like to run at me, and I literally jumped back because I didn't know what it was, and it faded, like it just in front of me. And then that I just didn't sleep because I didn't know what I just saw. That was the scariest ever.
Didn't you say it was like coming up and it opened your door at some point too?
That was, yeah, when I was in the bedroom at the end of the hallway where we all were in the last night that we were in the house. Every single night, just about, I would hear footsteps walking from. It would start usually from the basement stairs into the dining room, just in the kitchen, back in the dining room, to the living room, to the dining room, to the kitchen, to the dining room, to the living room, then to the stairs. And we had, 14 stairs, right? And it would be up in 3 steps. So it would go up like 6 at a time.
Wow.
Something like that. 6. Yeah, about 6 or 7 at a time. Because it was usually 2 steps or 3 steps. It would be from the bottom of the staircase to the top. And then it would walk back and forth real slow in the hallway. And it would stop at my door. And my hinge in my door was broken. So you could just, like, you could close the door, but you could literally just push it open. Like, it didn't shut. So it would get to the end of the hallway from walking back and forth, stop at my door, and just push it ever so slightly, and it would just click. All the time. I remember specifically one night it happened like 4 times in a row, and I screamed, and I slammed my door. I screamed at it to stop. I said that it was trying to scare me and it's not working. It's actually childish and it's pissing me off. Stop touching my fucking door. And I slammed my door, and nobody. My parents' bedroom was right there. My brothers were staying in this room right here. Mm-hmm. Nobody woke up. And I even brought it up the next day, and they said they didn't hear nothing. Nothing.
The fuck? That's insane.
Dude, it is insane. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Once I started hearing other people's experiences, that's when I was like...
I'm telling you, that's okay. A horror movie right there. You could make a horror movie.
Based off of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Only it wasn't a horror movie.
Yeah, dude. It just started becoming a little bit more real when other people would tell me, and how frequent it would become. It was just like, wow, this is... Because at first, when I was young, it would start off like, you would have your water, right? You'd grab it right out the fridge. You come in here. This is your room, right? Or say you're in the living room watching TV. You put it right here. You go to the bathroom real quick, and your water's gone. You go, okay, I just came from the bathroom. Let me go check the bathroom. Okay, maybe I never grabbed the water. You go back to the fridge, whatever. You're looking all over. You come back, and it's right where you left it. That's how it would start. Like little games like that. And then it got to hearing and seeing.
Yeah,
and I'm just happy it stopped.
I realized that house was fucked up the first time I went there. I don't even think you were there at the time. It was me, Bree, and like 2 other people. And we just smoked in the living room. and we were hearing a bunch of fucking. Were you there? No, you weren't
I never
there.
smoked in the living room. I've only ever smoked in the shed there.
No. Or we either rolled in the living room and smoked in the shed, or one of the fucking two. But all I know is, like, we were in the living room with a flashlight, and we were hearing, like, shit from upstairs, like, just, like, not, like, walking, but more or so, like, tapping or, like, knocking ever so slightly. But we didn't really fucking, like, pay no mind to it. Like, we rolled up real quick, and then I think we smoked in the shed. Because I don't know where we smoked after that, but... And then when I went in the house with you guys, was actually, it was when I first met up with you guys, we walked past and we were smoking in your shed at the time. And then you guys got mad loud in the room at some point. We didn't know you guys were here and you scared the fuck out of us. And then you came out of nowhere and you were like, "What's up, guys?" And like,
oh, that one I remember.
Out, dude.
That one I remember.
And that was when the futon, like, did all that shit.
Yeah, that was that
But,
night.
like, we went inside, and, like, I don't know, like, after that fucking night, once I actually heard all that shit, like, that's when I knew that house was, like,
that was you, someone
up.
else, and Kehoe.
It was me, Kehoe, and Mike. Because
you guys left earlier.
Oh, and I think Nick was there.
I thought you guys left earlier because you walked out the room and you guys were on the back porch.
Yeah.
Because I remember I came out because I thought we heard, like, other people there. Because as far as I knew, you guys were gone. And I've seen people on the back porch, so I opened the door and I said, "What's up, guys?"
That's because fucking Kehoe got mad fucking, like, high and just needed to go outside. And fucking Mike, when he was out there, he was yelling at Kehoe. He's like, "Yo, you're gonna get us in trouble. We're not supposed to be back here, man. Oh my God." And he just kept screaming. I was like, "Mike, you're the only one who's gonna be getting us in trouble right now. Like, we're allowed to be back here. Like, Kevin's right here. We were in here before." Like, he was like, "We need to go. We need to go."
Of all people, my cousin is the one that's like that.
We did smoke, like, fucking, like, 10 blunts face to face.
No, he also knew how my dad was, though, too, so I can't really blame him.
Nah. That shit was crazy. Yeah, because they went outside before we heard your dad, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Did you hear my dad, too?
I heard something downstairs.
Really?
I heard the door downstairs.
Oh, shit. That, too. I always thought that was just me. I didn't know anybody else.
100% fucking heard. Dude, I'm telling you, I was leaning against the door that entire time. I heard everything that was going on outside.
Yeah, dude. Strange.
And I know the door wasn't fucking, like, Kehoe and Mike because, like, I still heard them talking outside when... So maybe the talking that you heard could have been, like, Mike and Kehoe. But, like, I don't think anybody else would have came through the door because I heard the door.
It was just so distinctively my dad's voice. It was just so strange, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was the house I grew up in. For the longest time, I thought I was crazy. But then other people started telling me that.
So
yeah, I know.
I'm getting on that. I'll hit your vape, though. That's cool. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Masks are all the way over there. I was going to grab the masks.
I almost suffocated in mine.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna go through pictures and shit, and like, I was gonna do something else, but my phone died for it. But,
well, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. If you guys have had any
Halloween.
paranormal experiences, ghosts, goblins, ghouls, or any other, let us know.
Hell yeah. We'd like to talk about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it working now?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Awesome. Well, on that note, we post videos every week. If you guys like this, share it with your friends. Don't forget to have a happy Halloween. And also, don't forget to stay rotch.
Stay rotch
I missed the
forever.
camera.
So
you
did I.
too. I shouldn't have threw a Reese's. There's not a lot of those left. I ate a lot of
Should
them.
have thrown Whoppers. Whoppers suck.
Yeah, this is supposed to be my Halloween candy to give to the kids.
Fuck them kids.